This theory will try to show that each Straw Hat final power-up can be guessed from their flashbacks. Each one of them had a troubled past to say the least. Oda offered us flashbacks as early as chapter 5. The past is always relevant in this story. Sabo joins the revolution because of his troubled childhood. Garp doesn't like taking orders from the Marines since God Valley incident. The similarities between Roger and Luffy. In One Piece, the past is always linked to the present. We all agree that each Straw Hat will have a final power-up attack, an ultimate technique in a way that will help them achieve their dreams and defeat the final enemies. The very first proof we have of that theory is none other than Tony Chopper. When introduced in Drum Island, he's very shy, barely speaks, and let's be honest, a bit awkward. Then the flashback is revealed, and we discover a Chopper whose main goal is to integrate. Always set aside and never either a human or reindeer. Rejected and angry about it, pre-time skip when taking 3 rumble balls, he loses conscious. He becomes the most human he can, overtaken by his emotions. I believe this monster is a personification of that inner demon. Now if you're not up to date with the manga, this is the time to leave this video. One of the Straw Hats recently introduced and actually acknowledged her inner demon, Robin. Robin in this form resembles a succubus, a charming female demon that would suck the life out men's paws. Well, this is exactly what people used to say about Robin. Wherever she went, she brought destruction, people even giving her the nickname of Demon Child. Foreshadowed, for example, when she begs the crew to leave her in Amy's lobby, saying that staying with her will bring the fangs of destiny. Robin is acknowledging it right before attacking. To help Luffy, she has to release her inner demon. Her final form is the Demonio Fleur. Robin is accepting her demon, letting it go wild in order to help the crew. That's actually what I think Zoro is doing right now, dealing with his inner demon, Azure. Since Enies lobby we've seen this rare attack. 9 Swords Azure. Azure is a 3-headed demon protecting the Dark World at all cost, known to be merciless and reckless. Throughout the show, Zoro finishes in terrible states after battles, on the verge of death. Zoro's dream is to be the world's best swordsman, but only in order to have a fight loud enough so that Kuina can hear it from heaven. Zoro is fighting everyone, even death. In Wano he even got gifted Enma, the guardian of hell. Whether it's an hallucination or the actual Grim Reaper, Zoro will most likely start using Azure more, in the end becoming it. His final attack will probably be 9 Swords style. Hell Goddess Sir. See the pattern drawing here. Childhood trauma becomes a thing. This thing is the final power-up. Now, those were the easy ones, the 3 that actually made me do this theory. The rest will all be guesses. Their final power-up is basically an personification of their childhood trauma. So let's dig in flashbacks and find what it is. Growing up, Sanji was always bullied and put aside by his brothers. His mother passed away, but gave him the taste for cooking. Just like his brothers, he's finally awakening powers. He's recently been scared of becoming similar to them. But in my opinion, that's impossible. I think that by drinking the remedy, Sanji might have inherited too much emotions, or what he calls the fire in his heart. Sanji says it himself, and with his last attack, confirms that my theory sort of holds up. Ifrit Jamb. Ifrit is a powerful demon in Islamic beliefs, a type of jinn, or demon. Ifrit is a demon supposedly eager to get married, because he's been alone all his life, often represented with eyes on fire to show his burning passion. Sanji, in a similar way, has been growing up mostly alone, which might have impacted his inner fire, and therefore his powers. Maybe Sanji is more than just refusing to fight women, maybe he's physically unable to do so. Supposedly, Ifrit's powers would be enhanced durability, invulnerability, enhanced lung
capacity, enhanced speed, enhanced strength, fire manipulation, fire absorption, fire aura, fire generation, fire immunity, fire mimicry, invisibility.
Basically Sanji's powers so far in this story. I think Judge's children all have the DNA of a different ancient tribe. Sanji being a Lunarian. My guess is that his final power-up will be the full potential of his Lunarian DNA, mastering fire, pushing his body and regen to the next level. Nami is a weird one. Her past is filled with lies and betrayal, being loved by some while she hates them, loving others who hate her. She takes decisions that on the moment people hate, but realize later were right. This is simply called forethought, the ability to think ahead. The legendary characters associated with forethought are Zeus and Prometheus. Zeus already joined Nami in the recent chapters, and now that Mama is down, Prometheus could switch sides. Before fighting the Straw Hats, Prometheus never got injured. He might realize that joining them is in his best interest. Alternatively, when creating hair, Mama mentions that if she wants, she can eat Zeus in order to become more powerful. Well, with Mama down, I feel like Zeus and Prometheus will have things to discuss, ending either with Zeus absorbing Prometheus, or the latter joining Nami as well. In Greek legends, when Prometheus goes mad, a volcano awakens, making it rain fire. Another element tying them all together is the concept of unintended consequences. This concept tries to explain situations where, even if you're doing your best to fix everything, there will always be bad consequences out of your control. Nami is buying the village back from Arlong, but it's just a ruse. Zeus just wanted to eat tasty clouds, but got banished by Mama. Prometheus wanted a girlfriend, he got a second Mama. Be careful what you wish for. Then we have Usopp, the brave warrior of the sea. One thing that characterizes him is of course his godly muscles. And his lies. But that's the thing, he isn't lying just to mess with people. His lies are, as we know, premonitions, but also reflects his dreams. When he says he has 10,000 men under his control, it's because he wishes it was true. Same thing with his father. Usopp knows he's not coming back, but he wishes he was. Knowing he is sort of weak, actually weighs heavy on him, and that's why he lies, to not let anyone see how weak he could be. But that's the thing, he's not weak at all. In the recent chapters there is even hints about him have Conqueror's Haki. Recently Usopp's attacks are also changing name, starting to include devil in their name. Snakes in literature have been associated both with lies and royalty since the Bible. This leads me to think that his final attack will be Naga Devil, the Snake Lord, a Buddhist legend. Embodiment of royalty, pride, and ruse. Next up we have Franky, the Builder. Franky's past is marked by Tom, his mentor and father figure. Tom died because Franky's boats were used by Spandam to attack the town, and Tom took the blame. Right before dying, Tom gives Franky a last lesson: always be proud of your constructions, even if they're bringing destruction. Franky is one of the 2 people in One Piece who could rebuild Pluton, and his dream was to build a ship able to make it to the Grand Line Soya. My guess is that Franky built in the Sunny or on himself something from Pluton, a devastating weapon that he knows he can create, but doesn't want to, because he fears the consequences. Have you ever considered what was Brook's dream? I mean, he lived a full life of freedom on the sea already. He had friends, adventures, a death. His dream is to fulfill the one promise he couldn't, meet Laboon. But as he was saying it, death doesn't count as an apology. He failed someone he loved, that's his only regret. Brook's flag changed after the time skip, it now features a whale. The first time Brook was introduced he was singing Bink's Sake. Since the very beginning Luffy's main wish was to get a musician. Many theorize that Bink's Sake is linked to the One Piece, and I agree. I believe that Brook's specific role in the adventure is to play Bink's Sake in order to gather whales, opening the way to the One Piece. Whales are extremely important in One Piece, to the point that even Whitebeard, the man closest to the One Piece, had a boat shaped in the form of a whale. I believe this saying was literal. The whale tree, the whale waiting in Fishman. When Raftel is mentioned, whales are shown. A shark whale even joined the crew. Jinbei, Knight of the Sea. One thing that characterizes him is his loyalty and his aspirations for equality. I think both Jinbei and Brook are linked to whales in this theory. That leaves us with Brook being linked to Belov, demon of music able to make animal dance at his will. As for Jinbei, it would be Cetus, whale monster, powerful minion of Poseidon. Cetus, also the name for a constellation known as the Whale, represents the danger that jealousy and resent can cause. 2 things that heavily impacted Jinbei's past. After all these demons we only have one Straw Hat left, Luffy. Well, it took me so long to make this theory that Luffy kinda showed his demon already, I believe. With one of his most recent attack, Bajrang Gun. Bajrang is a reference to Hanuman, Hindu monkey god, who mistook the sun for a fruit and bit it. A symbol of light then. During the Colosseum, Luffy decides to go under the name Lucy, meaning light. Luffy is Lucifer. For 2 reasons. 1. Lucifer, the devil, doesn't reject demons, he accepts them, because he is one. 2. Before being known as the devil, Lucifer actually meant Lightbringer and referred to Venus, the morning star or the shining one. Referencing once again the sun god and dawn. Luffy is the captain of all these other demons, because he accepts them with their flaws. Luffy allows them to accept and free their inner demons. Lucifer, or the fallen angel, can manipulate thunder, exactly like Luffy. My guess is that to fight darkness, Luffy will have to bring the most light he can. The Lightbringer. fully referencing what Luffy, or Nika if you prefer, represents in One Piece. Dawn, or the start of a new age led by Joy Boy, where everybody's free. Why inner demon? Well, I believe this is Oda trying to teach us that we all have demons inside of us. Losing who you called father because of your mistakes like Frankie, parents who passed away like Nami Robin, not corresponding to society's standards. I think Oda is showing us that in order to reach your dreams, you just need to accept who you are. If you like this video, consider subscribing. I might be able to afford a proper text-to-speech then.